This is Andy Lippman giving some lip to Atlanta sports. Hey, it's the halfway point in the college football playoff system. This is Andy Lippman giving some lip to Atlanta sports. Hey, we are halfway through the college football season, and it's time to look at the college football playoff potential teams. So let's take a look. At the halfway point, here's what I'm thinking. The Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss SEC winner, assuming that none of these teams has two losses, will get in to the Final Four. Then the winner of Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, as long as they win the Big Ten, and as long as none of those teams have the two losses, one of those teams definitely gets in. Oklahoma, if they win the Big 12 and go undefeated, thanks to a strong conference schedule and beating Texas, they get in. And then I think Florida State, if they remain undefeated, thanks to that non-conference win against LSU, who is playing pretty good football right now, I think those are the four teams that get in. Now, what about the others? I think Washington, if they win the Pac-12, they would need Florida State to lose a game or Oklahoma to lose a game or the SEC champ or Big Ten champ to have two losses. I think if Washington was undefeated and so was Georgia, Michigan, or Ohio State or Penn State, the Big Ten winner, or Oklahoma, they would each get in, but not Washington because of the strength of schedule. I think Washington would get in over an undefeated North Carolina team, even if they beat Florida State, just because North Carolina doesn't have the best strength of schedule. Their two big games are Duke and Florida State, which are good teams, but Oklahoma's win against Texas to me is still going to top that. Still going to top those wins. Washington would have wins over Oregon, USC, Oregon State, Utah, and whoever they face in the Pac-12 championship. So those are pretty good wins right there. I think Washington definitely has the advantage over North Carolina if they go undefeated, but I'm not so sure against a team like Florida State. I also think a one-loss SEC or Big Ten championship team would probably get in over Washington. I know that sounds unfair, even if Washington is undefeated. North Carolina needs to win out and be undefeated with the win against Florida State, and they need Washington or Oklahoma to lose a game. Otherwise, they need the Big Ten or SEC champ to have two losses, which seems pretty unlikely. And North Carolina's strength of schedule is not nearly as good as these other teams' strength of schedules will be by year's end. But a win over Florida State would definitely help that. While Michigan's strength of schedule is not strong now, they'll finish the year with Ohio State and Penn State. Ohio State's strength of schedule looks great after beating Notre Dame out of conference. Here's where I think it would get interesting. Here are the teams that need a lot to happen but still get there. Oregon and Texas. Both teams have one loss, but their one loss was to a very good team. Oregon to Washington, Texas to Oklahoma. Oregon has to hope USC loses a Pac-12 game or Washington loses two Pac-12 games. That gets them in the conference championship. Then they need to win the conference. Texas needs to get to the conference championship, which means winning out and then beating Oklahoma. The teams with a minuscule chance of getting in the playoffs, USC and Duke. Both have one loss, both actually to the same team, Notre Dame. They're both out of conference defeats. So they still have a slight chance, but again, they've got to win out and hope for a few things to happen. Teams like James Madison, Air Force, and Liberty, I know they're all undefeated, but none of those teams is going to the championship this year. There will be no Cincinnati team, no outside the Big Five conferences team to get into the tournament. So here we go. Those are the four teams that I think. Right now, I'm saying the SEC winner, the Big Ten winner, Oklahoma, and Florida State are the four teams that are favored to get in. After that, we got a lot of teams that are nipping at their heels, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be completely different in a few weeks. There's always a few upsets, so we'll just see what happens. And I'm Andy Lippman, giving some lip to Atlanta sports. Have a great day.